I am here to bring you my monthly beauty favorites, and this month we're talking about everything that I used in January and the things that I loved so much with like makeup and skincare and all of that kind of stuff, and featuring a really cool product that I just learned about a couple of months ago and have been trying out and really excited to tell you about. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is a eyeshadow palette, and I got this one for Christmas. And I've used it quite a bit and actually really like the formulas. And this is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. The packaging is really cool. Here's the shadows right here. There's a great assortment of colors and finishes in these shadows. The mirror is really cool. It says right here, the magic's in the makeup, which is neat. Some of my favorites that I use are this one in the middle called Danger. It's really beautiful. Let me see if I can swatch it for you. So here it is swatched. It is literally like the color of my skin, which makes it a great transition crease shade. I'm absolutely loving it for my crease because it doesn't make too big of a difference. So it's really good to like set that area, keep it from creasing and that kind of thing, but also like set the area that you're gonna add your makeup. So I am loving the shade Danger. Of course, I pick up Zone a lot right here because it's such a gorgeous shade for the lid. It is a little bit darker than some of the shades I use on my lid, but I've been loving that sort of like smoked out lid look. Oh, these shadows are like so creamy. So here it is right here. It has sort of a corally bronze color to it, and it's absolutely stunning. Like, it is so pretty. I'll show you Pop too. I use Pop quite a bit. It's not a huge difference from Zone, except that it has a little bit more pink in it. Here it is right there. Those are some of my favorite shades, and usually like the darker shade I use to like smoke out. Those shades right there is this one right here, this dark chocolate color. This one is called Punk. This one is called Punk. And it is so pretty. It's like a dark chocolate. It has a little bit of a maroon shade to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. These colors are so pretty and so blendable, and they're very creamy and buttery. Like, they feel very good on the skin. So I really suggest this palette. It's really good. The bright fun colors at the bottom, I have used the blue and the green, and they're really fun for those, you know, occasional looks when you want to like kind of go out of your comfort zone. So I would definitely suggest that palette because there's so many versatile ways to wear it. The next palette that I'm going to talk about is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is the contour palette, and I have talked about it several times before and used it a few times on camera, but it's one of those palettes that I have a love-hate relationship with. I feel like the contour shades sometimes can be a bit muddy and a bit chalky and hard to blend in. But I've been working with it more because I learned from the Lorac palette that sometimes it just takes time and like you have to kind of dig through those first couple of layers. So I've really enjoyed the contour shades, but what I'm going to talk about this month are these two shades right here. These setting powder shades are absolutely beautiful. And again, they took me a while to get used to, and by themselves, I don't necessarily like them, but when I blend them together on my brush, I just like dip in both sides. It's the perfect shade to set my under eye area and those areas that I want to set for a more highlighted look between my brows, on my forehead, and things like that. So I've really loved it this month. I've grabbed for it more because I'm almost out of my Lorac palette, and I'm glad that I grabbed for this one instead of rebuying the Lorac palette just yet, because I could definitely get quite a few more uses out of this one, and they do pretty much the same thing. So I'm really loving that. Next product I'm going to talk about is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the new Brow Definer Pencil. These have come out in several shades, and you can purchase them at Ulta, and it's kind of the same packaging and the same idea as the Brow Wiz, except it's a lot fatter. Let me find the Brow Wiz. So this is the Brow Wiz, this is the Brow Definer. So you can see that the Brow Definer is a little bit fatter, the tube is, so if you're in the store trying to figure out which is which, now you know. So the Brow Definer looks like this. I have shade Blonde, and so it's set at an angle, and it's kind of thick, you know, in the tube. And the reason why it's set as an angle is because it is meant to like define out the brows, not necessarily fill them in. You can use it to fill them in, but you have to be, you know, really careful. But you might define it out with this one and then grab the Wiz to fill in. So this one takes a little bit of work. So you kind of have to line out the bottom and then brush your eyebrow hairs down and define out the top. So you have to like kind of change the way that you like hold this brow pencil while you're doing it. So it definitely takes a lot of practice. And I've been using it for over a month, well over a month, just to get used to it and to try to like, you know, use it correctly. And I have noticed a difference in my brows when I use it. Like it definitely is, they are definitely defined more and that kind of thing. So I really like using it. I haven't used it on camera yet, but I will in the month of February because it is so, like it really makes your brows look really, really nice and sharp. And so I really, really like this product, but please don't be discouraged if the first couple of times that you use it, you feel like your brows look a little muddy or a little bit disheveled. Because I promise once you practice with it and use it a few more times, you will get it down and it'll be a breeze and you'll never, like your eyebrows will never look the same. The next product I'm going to talk about is by NARS. This is from the Christopher Kane collection and this is actually a blush. It's called Silent Nude. And it's definitely a nude color. It has a bit of pink in it, but I've been using this probably in a way that maybe you're not supposed to use. But what I like to use this for is after I just bronze my skin, I'm not talking about contouring, but after I bronze my skin with a big fluffy brush, I will take this shade on a more defined contour brush and just kind of like set over that, just in the cheek area, not in the forehead area, just in the cheek area. It adds a little bit of pink color to it and adds a little bit more sharpness to it. And let me tell you, like, I've had so many compliments like on my cheek area when I'm wearing this than I've ever had, even when I have like the sharpest contour, you know, that I'm like super proud of. Just using this as like a simple little, it's almost like setting your contour. Totally not necessary, but I have noticed a difference. This was in a limited edition collection from NARS, so I'm not sure if this particular color is being sold like in the permanent line, but I have talked about it before, so some of you may have purchased it when I did because I bought it in a Sephora haul. I'll check that out and put it in the comments or in the description bar below. But I really, really love this shade. And you could find a nude blush shade like this to use the same way that I use it. So I've really, really enjoyed that. Next thing I'm going to talk about is by Too Faced. This is their Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer. And I have had this for months. I mean, probably over a year I've had this contour shade. And I used to pick it up all the time until all the contour palettes came out. And then I would just grab a contour palette because it was so much easier. But I've grabbed for this every now and then because of my Lorac Pro contour palette going kind of like hitting pan on almost every shade. So I've just been grabbing this, making it easy. And like, I fell back in love with it. I'm like, why did I ever switch to the contour shades? The contour shades are not near as good as this shade right here. I have recommended this to so many people and so many people have purchased it when I do like consultations and lessons and things like that. They have purchased this shade for their contour shade and they always tell me how much they love it. I like to use it with, I'm looking at all my brushes over here, but I like to use it with the NARS Ita brush, which I used in my latest Get Ready With Me video. But you know that like sometimes I have issues with that brush because it flakes off so much. It is gorgeous and so simple. It's like one product. You don't have to buy a big old palette. Like, it will last you a really long time. The pan size is huge. I love this shade. Like, I don't know why I set it back in the back of my drawer for so long because it is gorgeous. And I know this is just so like, hello, this was in people's favorites in like 2013, but I don't care. Like, it's gorgeous. If you don't have the shade, you should totally pick it up. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is it's called a lip paint. This is by Tarte and the new Tarteist lip paints. This is shade Namaste. And I used it in, I guess, my Get Ready With Me video. But I've been using it all month long. I kind of discovered it on Instagram because a bunch of beauty bloggers were raving about it. And so I ran out to Ulta and grabbed one. And I was like, oh, well, now I know why. It's like the perfect color. It goes with every skin tone, every eye color, every hair color, every makeup look, everything. Like, it just get one, okay? Let me show you it swatched on the back of my hand. It looks like this. It's just that perfect nude color. There's not a lot of pink. There's not a lot of red. There's not a lot of brown. It's just nude. It is beautiful. And it's a lip paint, which is like the new thing for, in the lip world. So there's the lip stains. There's the matte lip colors and all that kind of thing. This is Tarte's take on that. And so basically the applicator is really cool. It's really spongy. It's really easy to maneuver around and use, and you just line out your lips with this and fill them in, and then slowly this will dry to a matte color, a matte shade, and it will not move throughout the day. I do sometimes put a gloss on top, but you by all means don't have to, but sometimes I will if I just want it to be a little bit shinier. These consistencies remind me a lot of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, the consistency. But I don't know, I haven't seen a shade like this one in a NYX color. Granted, these are a lot cheaper. However, you get a lot more product in the Tarte palette, or in the Tarte kind. So, you know, it's your choice, but this one's really good. Okay, the first skincare product that I'm going to talk about is from Bare Minerals, and this is the Intensive Glow Pads Brightening Treatment. So I have actually been loving the Bare Minerals skincare line, and I'm going to be talking about that in my next video. I'm going to do like an updated skincare routine and like favorites in my skincare collection. So look forward to that next week. But this is something that I've been using every single night and every single morning, and I just love it so much. I was actually sold on it when I was in Rio last summer. And I went into a store there that sold Bare Minerals, and I feel like Bare Minerals is a lot of times like overlooked in Sephora and in Ulta, because like you're so drawn to, you know, the high-end brands, like that it kind of gets overlooked. So when I went into this store in Rio, like the only skincare and makeup brand they had there was Bare Minerals. And though I have that in San Angelo, I was like hooked on Bare Minerals for a little bit. It was kind of strange. So anyways, the guy that worked there, he was a makeup artist, and he totally sold me on this product, and I'm so glad that he did, because it really is a great product. So they're just little pads. They look like this, and kind of like Stridex pads if you ever used those when you were like in junior high. And one side is rough and the other side is smooth, so you can use one side to exfoliate. So after I cleanse my face with my my Clarisonic, then I will grab one of these and just, you know, swipe, wipe, whatever, my face off. And, you know, it will pick up some like extra dirt and extra makeup that maybe the Clarisonic didn't grab, but you will notice that it just brightens your face. Like it lifts the redness and the darkness out of your, you know, your problem areas, and it really does brighten your face. And it's so easy. It's just a pad. Like it's not a big soap that you have to wash on and off. Like no, you just rub it over, and you really will notice a difference immediately. And then after you use it for like a week or two, you'll start to notice that difference in your makeup, because your skin will be brighter underneath your makeup. So I really, 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 really recommend this product. I'm going to talk about it more next week, but you should go grab one so that when I talk about it, you don't have to feel like, oh, I need that right now. Okay, so I have to talk about something really cool. So an old classmate of mine, we went to school together for several years, back in high school and junior high and elementary, but and she even lived like around the corner from me when I was growing up. So she contacted me and she was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm starting this new company. It's called Wild Texas Soaps. And she said, you know, I'm going to start this new company. I'm making these new soaps all by myself. She was like, I'd love for you to try them out. And I said, of course I'd love to try them out. Like, let me buy some. And she said, no, let me send some to you. And I said, well, you know, I don't really know how I feel about that, because I have had a few things sent to me before to review. And it's always awkward because, like, if I don't like the product, then I'm not going to talk about it. And so I didn't, because, you know, we were friends, I didn't really want to, like, hurt her feelings if something, you know, if I didn't like a product or something like that. And so we discussed a lot of things, we met, and so she sent me like a few products to try, and they just had their grand launch, and so I've been trying them for several weeks now, because I wanted to give like a really good review for her and for you, and like be able to like really see if it made a difference in my skin. So she makes these liquid soaps and these bar soaps, and I am like totally sold on this new brand. I really am, and I wouldn't say that because I have not reviewed products when I could have. And so like a lot of her soaps are made with goat's milk, which is really cool, and you know, like really organic and that kind of thing. And they're made here in the city that I live in, which I think is so cool. Like I love using a product that's really changing like my skin, that's made here in the city that I live in, because you know, I was born and raised here, and I've lived here all my life, and I'm just gonna support people that, you know, have been this, you know, doing the same thing. So anyways, she makes liquid soaps and bar soaps, and so she sent me a few, and I've been trying them out. So let me just tell you what she sent me. Okay, so first, this is the honeysuckle bar, and this is the Gulf Shore coconut bar. And then she sent me two body washes. This is the Southern Vanilla, and this is the Little Lavender. And so these I have been trying out, and I'm just going to talk about my favorite ones, okay? I kind of mentioned this lavender one to her because I suffer from migraines a lot, and when I suffer from migraines, the only thing that will sometimes take them away is for me to take a bath with and cover myself in lavender, whether that's oil or candles or lotion or whatever, and sometimes that will help. And so that's why I had her send me this one, and I did have a few headaches while I used it, and I can't say that it took away my headaches. You know what I mean? Because I never know what takes away my headaches. It could be the Tylenol or the water or the lavender oil that I'm using. I don't know what takes it away. I just do everything I possibly can to get it gone. So I don't think that I would ever use this particular soap just by itself, because lavender reminds me of headaches now. So I'm not going to talk about this one. It's great if you suffer from headaches and you want to try it and you're like me and you just cover yourself in lavender because you do everything you possibly can. This is a great soap, and it does smell like lavender, and it smells really, really, really good and really, really clean. So this would be a great one to throw in the bath. But the one that I have loved the absolute most is this one right here. This is the Southern Vanilla. And you can see, I've used a lot in just the couple weeks that she sent it to me. I use it in the shower, and it feels so, so, so moisturizing. And I've used it on my kids now too, and they feel really moisturized. So it's really dry and cold here where I live. And so dry skin is very, 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 very common in these winter months. And so I really, really like this product because it feels so moisturizing. I also really like soaps that don't lather up a lot, because I feel like if I get really lathered and overrun by bubbles, that I'm not getting a deep, deep moisturizing clean. So this one does not lather up a lot, which I'm perfectly fine with. That is what I like in a soap. If you want your soap to lather up a lot, you're not going to like this because it just won't. That's not what it's designed to do. But it does leave you feeling very, very clean and very, very fresh and very, very moisturized, that you will notice a difference. And it smells so good, like vanilla, like a clean vanilla musky scent that just screams this region, because I'm from West Texas. And then I've used these two bar soaps. You know that I love to get a spray tan, and before I spray tan, I love to exfoliate. This one has sand in it from the Gulf Shore, and so I love this one as an exfoliant. It really, really works well and flakes off that dead skin, but this one right here is unbelievable. So this one is the honeysuckle, and it smells so good. I wish I could just leave it out in my house because it makes my house smell so good. And it's really, really moisturizing, and it is said to help with dry skin dry skin problems like eczema and psoriasis and things like that. The honeysuckle elements in it are supposed to do that. Now, my nephew suffers greatly from eczema, and I've talked about that before, and I never like to say that a product relieves his eczema, because one thing that I've learned since we've been dealing with his eczema is that every case of eczema is totally different. And so something that may work for one person may not work for the other. So I'm not going to say that this cures it or anything like that. But if you suffer from eczema or psoriasis and you've been looking for something that's natural, homegrown, that kind of thing, then give this a shot, because I don't suffer from eczema, but I do suffer from dry skin in certain areas. I can say that it has helped those areas, and it may help you. And if it doesn't, then at least it smells good. So I'm going to write a really in-depth review on my blog about all of these products, but I am so in love and so proud of my old friend for introducing me to Wild Texas Soap. So if you haven't checked them out yet, then they have a new website, and I will link it down below, but you should totally check it out, because She's doing a great job, and I'm just so proud of her. She's one of our veterans, so if you want to support veterans as well, then you should, because it's so cool to reconnect with people that, you know, have been in your past for such a long time, and you didn't necessarily keep in touch after you graduated high school or after they moved off or whatever. And it's so cool to reconnect and just like learn about their life and like learn about what went on with them, because you knew them for so long and you were a part of their life for so long. And that's, I think, the coolest part about all of this that I've been like trying, is that like it's just neat, you know, to like rekindle relationships like that. So anyways, I'm very proud of her, and I'm really, really in love with these products. You can tell, like, I really have. I've used a lot of this, and I intend to use all of it and then buy another one. I'm going to repurchase this, and so I really think that you'd like to give it a shot. So I think that's everything for my January favorites. We've talked about skincare, we've talked about makeup, and I think I'm done. So I hope that you all had a great January, and I can't wait to see what February has in store for everyone. So with that, I will leave you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!